What's up, MTG TikTok fam? I'm gonna go over my Lathreel elf deck that everybody's been waiting to see. So this will be the first one. I'm gonna put a screenshot at the end of this video, so check it out at the end, even if you have to fast forward, um, of the list of everything that's in there. And I'm gonna show you the mana box of the cost of every single card in here. So let's get to it. Here she is, everybody. Lathreel, Blade of Elves. One of my faves. So we have her in here. I keep her in the plastic just in case anybody has something that throws her back in the deck. This way I can take it out. I'm going to go ahead and firstly start out with all of the tokens that you need. And these are great. I had my cousin print me up these. We got Buddy the Elf because you get a lot of 1/1 elf creatures. We got Celtic Guardian here. We got the regular elf warriors that you would see. A little more Buddy the Elf, little Link going on. He's a freaking awesome as they are. And we do have some insect tokens in here because I do have an elf that spawns insect tokens. So, and then we got a treasure token for something. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the rest of them here. I'm going to obviously go through whenever we pull the lands, but I'm going to go through them a lot quicker because we know. And again, the screenshot at the end will show you everything, lands and things like that. First off, I'm going to show you, we got the Shire. The Shire is definitely awesome. Pulled that from Lord of the Rings. And we're tapping that food token there in case we do get that. We have Nath, Guiltleaf. Beginning of your upkeep, you may have target opponent discard a card at random. Whenever an opponent discards a card, you may put a 1/1 green elf warrior token into play. Whoop! Those again. We got Evolving Wilds. Get the mana out there. Skimfar Shadowsage. When he enters, you choose one. Each opponent loses X life, where X is the greatest number of creatures you control that have the same creature type in common. Or you can do the same thing for life. Great. So we got Swamp, Forest, Wirewood Herald. When Wirewood Herald is put into the graveyard from play, you may search your library for an elf card. If you do, reveal that card and put it into your hand. So you can take any elf, put it into your hand. Multiversal Passage. Some of the cards in here will be expensive. Feel free to swap them out for, lesser cost ones that kind of work the same. But we know that from Spider-Man. Llanowar Elves. We have a lot of elves in here. Elves are very, very good. If you have 3 mana sitting out, 3 lands, most of your elves can deal with that because they're very low cost. And you have a lot of the little mana dorks out there. So we got Llanowar, it's a very good staple. Elderfang Venom. Attacking elves you control have Death Touch. Just an enchantment. Whenever an elf you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain a life. It's just fantastic. Kill my elves because you'll die. Swamp. Tybra Bellicose. Whenever one or more elves you control attack, they gain Death Touch until end of turn. Each creature you control has, whenever a mana ability of this creature resolves, put a 1/1 counter on it equal to the amount of mana that creature produced. There's a lot of elves that produce mana based on how many elves you have on the field. So it's just amazing. But even so, even if it's just one little mana dork, still getting that 1/1. This is fantastic. Herald, Unite the Elves. As the saga enters, you get to mill 3 cards. You may put an elf or a Tarvia card from your graveyard onto the battlefield. So you mill the 3 cards. 9 times out of 10, there will be an elf. Boom, right to the battlefield. Phase 2. Put a 1/1 counter on each elf you control. Let's power up my 17 elves. Whenever an elf you control attacks this turn, target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1 till end of turn. Deadly. If a guy has a 10/10 out and you attack with 10 elves, that creature gets -10/-10 before damage is even dealt. You could even destroy, if you attacked with 10 elves, you could do -2/-2 on 5 elves that have 2/2. I mean, 5 creatures that have 2/2. Deadly card. Eldmari Kettleblah. You may look at the top card of your library at any time you want, on your opponent's turn, whatever. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. Tap 2, untapped creature control. Reveal a card from your hand or the top of your library. If you reveal a creature card this way, put it on the battlefield. Amazing. This girl, beautiful. Legendary creature. Tokens you control have add. So all of my tokens, when she's out, have add 1 broccoli. And then you choose a background. That's a whole thing from Baldur's Gate. Witherbloom Campus, so dual land. We got Underground Mortuary, expensive land, but again, dual land. Jungle Hollow, dual land. Beast Whisperer. Whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card. I mean, you put out 3 elves per turn, so keep drawing that card. Elvish Champion, another staple. 100% should have this in the deck. All elves get +1/+1 and have Forest Walk. So if your opponent has forests, GG. Wardens of the Cycle. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, choose one. You gain 2 life. You draw a card, you lose a life. I mean, creatures die all the time, right? Beautiful Swamp. Hissing Quagmire. Dual land. Dwayne, I call him Dwayne. I call her Dwayne the Rock Johnson's Elite, as my pod will know. When this creature enters, if you control another elf, create a 1/1 token. Cost 2. All you do is put her out as your second elf. Boom, got a token. Priest of Tetiana, another mana dork. Add 1 broccoli for each elf on the battlefield. Mana ramp. Herald's Horn. As Herald's Horn enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creature spells you cast of the chosen type cost 1 less. Elf. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature of the chosen type, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. Slice from the Shadows. Just an easy, quick card that you can use to destroy somebody. -X/-X. Reclaim Sage. When this creature enters, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. Boom. Elf Shaman. Just another elf that comes out and destroys enchantments and artifacts. Gala Greeters. This was one of my latest cards I pulled. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Now, whenever another creature, so that's even tokens. Now, mind you, you can do this 3 times a turn by choosing a different one. So if I put it out and I create 5 elf tokens, I can use 3 of them to do all 3 of these. So why not? And I used it so many times. Now this is an instant, but it's also treated as an elf. Destroy target non-elf creature. It's fairly. And the reason why it's an elf is because when it's in your graveyard, it's still considered an elf. So sometimes you have elves, which we'll get to, that actually power up based on the elves in your graveyard, and this is considered an elf. Banner of Kinship. If you don't have this, throw your deck in the garbage. As this artifact enters, choose a creature type. Elf. This artifact enters with a fellowship counter on it for each creature you control of the chosen type. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1 for each fellowship counter on the artifact. I have 10 elves in the field. I play this card, it gets 10 counters on it. Every single elf gets +10/+10. Swamp. Forest. Wirewood Channeler. Add X mana of any one color to your mana tool, where X is the number of elves in play. I have 10 elves in the field. Every time I tap them, I get 10 mana. Forest. Sylvan Anthem. Green creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever a green creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry run. So green, elves, doesn't matter. I have a dinosaur in this deck. He's also green. He's going to get it too. My insects, they're going to get it also. Llanowar Tribe. Add 3 broccolis. Why not, right? Rift Sour. Add 1 mana of any color. Why not? You could also suspend this. Play it on the first turn, suspend it. 2 turns later, he becomes a creature on your side of the field. Guardian Project. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it doesn't have the same name as another creature you control or a creature card in your graveyard, draw a card. It's a commander deck. Nothing has the same name. Draw a card for every freaking thing you do. Woodland Cemetery. Elvish Regrower. When this creature enters, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Why not? Take an elf back. Or anything. Elvish Mystic. 1 broccoli. Extinguiate. This could be a game winner. Each opponent loses X life. You gain life equal to the life lost this way. So just, again, all those mana ramps, you get up 20 mana because you have all that. 2 of those, boom, 20 life, dead. Viridian Joiner. Add 1 broccoli to your mana pool equal to Viridian Joiner's power. As he powers up with the other elves, he adds more broccolis. Another Golgari Gilgate, just dual land. We got Bloodline Shaman. Tap her. Choose a creature type. Reveal the top card from your library. If that is a creature card of the chosen type, put it in your hand. So at any time, you just tap her and look at the top. If it's an elf, take it. Another dual land. Blooming Marsh. Harold King of Skamar. Menace. When Harold King of Skamar enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal an elf, warrior, or Tava card from among them. Put it into your hand. The rest in the bottom of your library. Take an elves. Realm Walker, Shapeshifter, Changeling. Changelings are every single type. So if it's getting powered up by elves and getting powered up by anything your opponent has, why not, right? Choose a creature type. Elf. Look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast it from the top. So another one of those cards. Elvish Arc Druid. Other elves you control get +1/+1. He also adds broccoli for every elf you control. Seeker of Skybreak. Untap target creature. So you can use this, untap one of those creatures, and gain more mana. Or you can even use it for Lathrieel's ability. Let me go back to Lathreel real quick because we didn't go through her. Lathreel, if you don't know how she works, she's Menace. And whenever Lathreel deals combat damage to a player, you create that many 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens. So if you power her up, she's going to give you at least 2 elves, if not more, every time you attack with her. Now, her best effect is you tap 10 untapped elves you control. Each opponent loses 10 life, and you gain 10 life. This is a way to melt your opponents every single turn. Well Wisher, one of my favorite cards. You tap her, you gain 1 life for each elf in play. Boom. Poison Tip Archer. Reach. Death Touch. This is very important because you don't have a lot of flying in an elf deck. Reach, Death Touch. Whenever another creature dies, each opponent loses 1. Another creature. So that means even your pod's creatures. All your opponent. 1 life, dead. Prowess of the Fair. An enchantment also considered an elf on the field. Whenever another elf token is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, you may create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. A non-token elf. I have 7 elves in the field. You play destroy all creatures. Great. I get 7 new ones back. Screw you. Elven Chorus. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. Creatures you control have add 1 mana of any color. All of my creatures are mana dorks. Soul Ring. We know what that is. Crown of Skimfar. Enchanted creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each elf you control and has reach. So it powers up. Return Time Scimitar to your graveyard to your hand. This doesn't go away. Destroy it, bring it back. We know what Arcane Signet is. Another one, a dual land. Immaculate Magistrate. Tap it. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature for each elf you control. And you can do that every turn. Marin the Nurturer. Whenever another elf is put into the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on Marin the Nurturer. Every time you put an elf out, she gets stronger. Then I can tap her and add 1 broccoli equal to her power. Canopy Technician. Other elves get +1/+1. Adds 3 broccolis. Why not, right? Impervious Perfect. Other elves you control get +1/+1. Notice a pattern here. Tap 1. Create a green elf warrior token every turn, creating an elf warrior. This is a game winner. Creatures you control get +3/+3 and gain trample till end of turn. Have 17 elves out. Play this. You win. Shaman of the Pact. When Shaman of the Pact enters the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to the number of elves you control. Want to melt them? Have 17 elves out? Play this. Elzari Renegade Leader. Regenerate target elf. Very important card. Tap 2. Elves you control get +3/+3. It basically has that trample card built. He has that built in. You can use it anytime. Now, regenerate target elf. Always have 1 broccoli open. They target one of your elves. Regenerate them. This is the king of my elves right here, this legendary creature, Galta the Primal Hunger. His spell costs X less to cast, where X the total power of creatures you control. Have 5 or 6 elves in the field, enough for 10 power. He costs 2 broccolis, 12/12 with trample. He stands in front of my elves and he protects them. Respite. Creatures deal no combat damage this turn. Gain 1 life for each attacking creature. You're not doing so well, or maybe you have a bunch of elves in the field that you don't want to block. Good. Your opponent attacks you with 5 creatures. Play this. No damage. You gain 5 life. Vanquisher Banner. Vanquisher Banner enters the battlefield. Choose a creature type. Elves. Creatures you control of chosen type get +1/+1. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you draw a card. Great. This, Casualties of War. ChatGPT told me to take it out. I said, screw you, ChatGPT. This has helped me win multiple games. Destroy 1 or more. Destroy target artifact. Destroy target creature. Destroy target land. Destroy target enchantment. Destroy planeswalker. You can choose all of them or 1 or 2 of them. Great card. They wanted me to take it out because it was too expensive. Screw them. Riveteer's Overlook. When Riveteer Overlook enters the battlefield, sacrifice it. When you do, search your library for a swamp, mountain, forest, whatever. So we're going to do swamp or forest. We know what Command Tower is. We got Dwayne Johnson's sister over here. Reach. Other elves you control get +1/+1, so we got another reach. Other elves get +1. When Dwayne Johnson over here attacks, you gain 1 life for each attacking elf you control. So good. Timberwatch Elf, another game winner here. Target creature gets +X+ till end of turn, where X the number of elves in play. Imagine giving it to that dinosaur. Growing Rights of Itmatak. When it enters, you look at the top 4 cards, reveal a creature card from among them, put it into your hand. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 4 more creatures, with elves you probably will, transform it. When you transform, it turns into a land, or it gives you 1 broccoli, or 1 broccoli for each creature you control. Elves again, right? Why not? Putrefy. Destroy target artifact or creature. It cannot be regenerated. Very cheap to destroy something. We got Metallic Mimic, another shapeshifter. These creatures are chosen, every creature, chosen type. So we're going to put it as elf. Each creature you control of the chosen type on the battlefield gets +1/+1 counter on it. My old one, Wildwood Elf, just a mana dork. Beautiful, beautiful planeswalker. Use it to create an elf druid that adds mana every turn. So every turn, 2 elf druid, 2 elf druid. Then you can take 2 away from it, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Do this even on the first turn you put it out. -6, draw a card for each green creature you control. And she can even be your commander if you wanted a full green elf deck. Elvish Warblade, a War Master. Whenever 1 or more of your elves enter the battlefield under control, create a 1/1 Grief Elf. This is how you push out elf warriors. Taunting Elf. ChatGPT told me to take him out. I said, screw you, ChatGPT. This is a game winner, and it's won many of games. Taunting Elf is 0/1. All creatures able to block Taunting Elf do so. Your opponent has 10 monsters on the field. You have 10 monsters on the field. All you guys are powered up. You attack with everybody. All 10 monsters have to block Taunting Elf. All the rest of the 10 monsters go through to his life. Dead. Haunted Mire. Cover of Darkness. As Cover of Darkness enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Elf. Creatures of the chosen type have fear. Fear is they can't be blocked except by artifact creatures or black creatures. So, GG on that one. Beastkin Ranger. Whenever another creature you control enters, this creature gets +1/+0. Wirewood Hive Master. Whenever another non-elf token comes into play, I create a green insect creature token. I put a green insect creature token into play. Why not, right? And then Abomination of Llanowar. This is what I was talking about. He could also be the commander instead of Lathril, but I always play Lathril. Vigilance and Menace. Abomination of Llanowar's power and toughness are equal to the number of elves you control, whether they're on the field or in your graveyard. So he's huge. Again, at the end of this video, I will put the summary on there and to show you exactly how much this whole deck costs. I hope this helped. I hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to the next ones.